then that's serious, because you just lost a huge opportunity. And so that it is that what the Hindus are speaking, and why it's dangerous, because you could lose your spiritual life for a while. You'll still come back, because God lives in every single one. There's no such thing as being lost forever. You can make a detour, but you'll always come back. And there's no hell or anything like this. In fact, I don't know if you know this, but the Pope declared that before he died. He actually said it to the world. He said, "I'm sorry, we made up this whole dream about the hell, and there isn't any." And he apologized for doing that. It was just to control people. But the brain can create dreams that are not nice, and in a way, it's kind of true at another level. It can control people, but that's in polarity. Polarity is about to dissolve away. We're not going to have access to it. The reason we won't have access to it is because in order for polarity to exist, there has to be an electromagnetic grid around the Earth, and that grid is about to be taken away from the planet. And the only access you'll have is to the old way, which is unity, which is what the indigenous people are on, or the new way, which is also a higher level of unity grid. You're going to be in one of those two, because there's not going to be one in the middle. And so once that other grid is dropped, which is soon, we're waiting for all the indigenous people to tell us when this will be. But when that happens, the world is only going to move forward in a positive and beautiful way. Negativity will be a memory. That's about all. I know I'm kind of stepping out there in a way, because I'm predicting things that are pretty outrageous, but my teachers all over the world and the indigenous people I work with, they're all in unison at this moment. They all say, do it, say it, go for it, because this is going to happen. And so I believe it. Gaia can do anything, really. And she shows this to many of the people that she feels are okay to show it to. And I've watched her do things. I know she is conscious, and she is fully aware of every single last tiny detail on Earth. And she is going to make changes. And what the indigenous people in Canada and the United States feel is that there are going to be many people that leave the Earth. It's not a bad thing. It's just that they are going to, their spirits are going to move into an area of space, time, and dimension where it is more familiar for them to make the kind of changes we're going to go. In other words, they're going home, because they came from there before. But who are left over, and it's not a lot of people really, as they kind of project to me. It's still hundreds and hundreds of millions of people, but it's not 6.5 billion. And the people that are left over, they link in their hearts, they become one living being. And they actually say that we turn the Earth into a spaceship, and we fly it into a new way of being. From Melchizedek consciousness, the orbit changes of the planet, and it alters the way that we perceive the reality. And we've been changing orbit since 1972. I know there's a lot of concerns by people over rapid change. They're worried that they won't have food and water and all these kinds of things, or they'll be just killed by disasters, etc. But it isn't, that's not what is actually happening. It is a transformation in consciousness, planetary-wise. That is actually everywhere. It's not just here, it's everywhere. It's the whole universe is going through a transformation. And if you really understood it, it's nothing to be afraid of at all. It's just like, finally. We're going to reach a level where the changes are going to happen very rapidly. Magic will fill the air. There's no other way to say it from where we are right now, just pure out and out magic. If Mother Earth doesn't want you to leave and to be part of the new place, you couldn't do anything to leave, no matter what you did, because she would make sure that you are not harmed. If you were supposed to go, then you're going to go. And either way, it is a blessing. God lives within every single person, and you can't harm God. And so it's just we're stepping into a way of being that is so alien to our way of thinking for the last 13,000 years. We've been in polarity consciousness for a long time. And in polarity consciousness, you're on your own. You have to protect yourself. You have to do everything. It's not about any of those kinds of things. It's just about transformation. Once we get into this transformation and the remembering process clicks in and we go, oh yeah, I remember now. We have to understand that, like I started to say a little while ago, all of life is one. It's totally interconnected. It supports each other. Just within the galaxy, it's like a living being. There's areas that are the heart, that are the liver, the kidneys. They do functions. They work. We do this for you, and it's a flow of energy. And there's nobody out there trying to kill each other. There's little tiny bits of things where they're going through transformation and they don't really understand yet. But 99.9 with about 1,000 nines after it are there to support each other. We are at this moment surrounded by over 250,000 cultures from space that love us, are rooting for us, care about us, and at the right moment we're going to see them, and we're going to know that the world is not out to get us. It just isn't that way. And we're going to realize that there really is a lot more to life than we ever dreamed of. And it's going to be an amazing revelation. Because the world is so much into fear right now, and so afraid, and so lost. It doesn't know how to do things, and all the control issues that are everywhere, and the lack of food, and on and on. But life is about to let itself be known on Earth, literally known that it is here. And I wish I could tell you what the indigenous tribes are telling us. I can't. I can't yet. Within a year, I will be able to. But by that time, you'll probably know. You just have to breathe and stay connected to Mother Earth and Father Sky and not worry about anything, no matter how it looks. From my tribe, the Taos Pueblo in New Mexico, they just tell us about this time. They said, when the world starts changing, that's when a lot of people get worried and things get a little crazy. They said, just go inside, close the windows, and just relax and breathe, and it will all pass, and then the light and everything will begin to enter in. They know this. So much of the old world, the ancient world, is really aware of what's happening. We're the last ones to know. And I don't know what to say except life is whole, complete, and perfect. It lacks nothing, and it always has been. And we have chosen to experiment, and we experimented on a particular level of consciousness called good and evil, which means all possibilities, good and bad. And we experimented. We're done with that experiment. And now we're going to go back to something that